Planks are a great exercise, not only for beginners, but for intermediates and experts alike. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do a plank properly, plus 10 different variations you can incorporate in your workouts. Okay, let's start off by talking about scapular positioning. What I'm doing here is called scapular protraction. By reaching forward or pressing into the ground in a prone plank, you're going to be moving your shoulder blades outwards to the sides and forward in the direction you're facing. This is the correct scapular positioning for any plank where you're facing the ground. Now the opposite of protraction is retraction, what I'm doing here, by pulling my shoulder blades together and backwards. This is not ideal in the typical plank. You want to focus on pressing into the ground and letting those shoulder blades kind of move away from each other. So with that said, let's take a look at the first plank, the low plank, also known as the elbow plank. Start off on all fours and then drop down to your elbows and forearms. Extend at the legs and then come up to your toes, so you're now on just toes and elbows and forearms. At this point, you want to hollow the core by sucking it in, basically the same way you would if you were putting on a tight pair of jeans. Also squeeze the glutes and press the elbows firmly into the ground to protract your scapula. A lot of people want to sink down like this to straighten their body. That's not ideal. When you do that, you're actually retracting your scapula. Safe and effective form for a plank is actually protracting your shoulder blades by pressing the elbows down into the ground. Next, we look at the high plank, also known as the straight arm plank. So here, you're going to be coming up onto your toes like before, but you're not dropping down to elbows and forearms. You're basically just staying in the top of a push-up. This is different from the low plank because it's putting more emphasis on your shoulders, triceps, and even the connective tissue in your elbow joint. One thing to mention is that some people are tempted to look straight ahead. That's not ideal. It's putting unnecessary stress on your cervical spine. So instead, keep your head in a neutral position looking down at the floor. Reverse plank. This is the only plank I'm going to show you that's not prone, meaning you're supine looking up at the ceiling. Because of this, you're resting on your heels, you're tightening your butt more than the abs, and you're pressing straight down into the ground with your triceps and shoulders. This in turn is going to retract your scapula, meaning this is the only plank I'm showing you in which you're not protracting, you're retracting and letting your shoulder blades come together. Side plank is a unilateral plank that puts emphasis on the obliques. In this plank, you lay on your side, resting your weight on the elbow and forearm of one arm, and you're facing to the side using your obliques and thighs to raise your hips and leg off the ground. Remember, this is a unilateral or one-sided plank, so make sure you work both sides. Extended plank. This is a different one that's going to put emphasis on your abs and even your lats and your back. So start off in a straight arm or high plank, and then carefully step your hands forward like that so they are in front of your head. This is going to put more stress on your abs to hold yourself in this position. You're also going to feel it a little bit in your lats and the side of your back. The more you step your hands out, the more you stress those muscles. Plank lean is good for building strength in the shoulders and wrists. So start off in a straight arm plank with your fingers pointed slightly outwards. Lean your weight forward and you'll feel the stress on your anterior deltoids, which is the front of your shoulders, as well as the wrists. This is a great lead-up exercise for anyone who wants to pursue the planche in the future. Unilateral planks are one-sided planks. The most popular and easiest unilateral plank is when you lift one leg in a straight arm plank. However, there's other variations like lifting one arm. When you do this, you'll find that you have to tilt to the side opposite of your raised arm just to maintain balance. You can also widen your foot stance to make it easier. Contralateral plank is when you raise two opposing sides, and I'll show you what I mean. Here I'm in a low plank. I'm going to raise my left arm and right leg at the same time. This is a contralateral movement. Hold this position for as long as you can, and you'll find that it's actually balance that's playing into this the most, but it also does build strength. Make sure after you do one side, you do the opposite side. So now I'm raising my right arm and left leg. Instability plank. This is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to make yourself unstable. Here I'm making my front end unstable by resting my hands on a medicine ball. And you can see I'm shaking just a little bit because the entire time you're holding a plank, same as always, tightening the abs, the glutes, protracting the scapula, you're also fighting with balance. Now another thing you can do is elevate the feet onto an exercise ball, and that's going to make it a little different because now you're struggling to maintain balance and coordination with your lower half, and I find that puts more stress on the core than when you're elevating and making the front end more unstable. And of course, you can really challenge yourself by elevating your hands and feet onto unstable surfaces. As you can see here, I am struggling. Both the exercise ball and the Bosu are kind of low on air, and I don't know if that's making it even harder for me, but man, it was a struggle. I should work on all my planks, but especially this one. Alright, and last but not least, the wall plank. This is done by putting your hands down on the floor in front of a wall and then walking your feet up the wall. Hold the position, tightening the core as usual, but you're going to find that most of the emphasis is on your shoulders and your arms because the angle that you're at. You can also walk further up the wall like this to emphasize the shoulder strength. And obviously this is a great lead up to wall handstands. Alright, there you have it. I hope that was helpful. Make sure you include at least one of those plank variations every time you work out your core and progress from the easier planks to the harder planks and see how it goes. Alright, if you guys are interested in learning more about body weight fitness, wholesome nutrition, subscribe to Minus the Gym. I got plenty more content ideas that I'm going to be uploading to this channel. Alright, good luck and I will talk to you soon.